live edition of the Sports Corner from the 216. Cleveland's home for real sports talk, real fans, and real opinions. We're broadcasting live tonight from the 216. Cleveland sports national headlines, playoff basketball, and more. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe wherever you're watching from tonight. Facebook Live, YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe on that YouTube, more importantly. And we coming soon to most audio platforms. This your boy Ricky D. We checking in, and this is the Sports Corner from the 216. What up, what up, what up? Y'all already know that's that Beats by Nardo. That's what I used to call him, but he called himself GC Nardo Gorilla Click. But yeah, man, tonight on tonight's show, man, we're gonna be talking about, of course, that game 7 last night. Shout out Cavs going against a division rival to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. What a matchup is that? Both teams win 7 games. We got the Guardians. You already know they trying to stay steady, but they last series against Oakland, they won that 2-1, but they had to come home with a loss. And of course the Browns quarterback controversy always. And this time, none other than the great Mary Kay is involved somewhat, somehow. But yeah, them NBA, them playoffs, man, it was a grueling first round. It was only like, I think, OKC kind of swept their team. I don't think they swept them, but they got up out of there. Spurs almost had a situation, but Wembley wasn't as bad as everybody thought. But yeah, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend. We got the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. Congratulations to her. You know what I'm saying? Call-ins are welcome today on the show. So if you're tuning in, our regular number, the 216-761 number, 716 is acting. You could try it, or you could dial 440-370-2996. Make sure you text first. And if you you can chime in if the chat. If you don't want to talk, you can comment, because I'm gonna leave some questions and suggestions inside the comments. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You could get that shout out on my next episode or social media shout outs. Stay tuned in, because we got some hot takes too. If you hear the word, go tell a friend. We talking sports. This your boy Ricky D, Sports Corner from the 216. You know, if you tuning in right now, drop your city in the chat. Where you from? You know what I'm saying? Where you're from. We want to know where you're from, because this the 216 where we coming from. But before I get all the way into the show, make sure before I get all the way into the show, I want to get this sponsor. Tonight's episode of Sports Corner number 216 is brought to you by Urban Fashion and Elegant Appeal. If you want premium streetwear that stands out while keeping a luxury vibe, check out Bavaria's clothing collection today. New designs, exclusive drops, which we do have an exclusive drop, the Drape 8 t-shirt, online orders only. Clean fits built for the culture. Follow them on social media. That's Bavaria's clothing collection on most social media platforms. Yeah, don't forget to shop that Bavaria's clothing collection, established 2019. Probably way before that, but it just officially, you can feel it in 2019. No, let me, if you know me, I said I was going to cut down. But if you know me, man, I like to have fun, man. I'm having fun doing this. So I could just imagine the more interaction we get, the more exciting. You know what I'm saying? But my opinion gonna still be my opinion because I love them sports and I enjoyed that game last night. Shout out Jared Allen for that third quarter with the help of Struce playing some aggressive ball. We got a couple of great shots, needed shots from Merle, and you can't forget the young boy Tyson. I told y'all Tyson that piece, that piece that'll change the course of the game. But yeah, man, we survived them rusky, them feisty, them Raptors gave us a go though, man. That boy Barrett was on some crap, but this the Jared Allen we seen last night. If you watched the game or if you heard about it, that Jared Allen, that's the Jared Allen I want to see the rest of the playoffs. Have that fight, that fury, that flame just burning in you, just ready to, go home. Tell them to go home. But the only way to do that, you got to put in that work. Excuse me. Yeah, but he had 22 points, 14, 19 rebounds. Most of them, 19 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell had 22 of his own. Cleveland, they was right. They stormed back because they was. I got love. They was it was looking bad before the end of the halftime, but then they tied it up. I say, okay, it's like a fresh new game now. But yeah, they controlled the second half. They came out with some fire. And them that information was courtesy of Reuters.com. But yeah, I got some things to discuss though with the Cavaliers based off. If you watched the game last night, based off what you saw from Jared Allen, did you feel like that was the biggest game? That might have been Jared Allen's biggest game as a Cavalier, not just playoff. Even though the playoffs are more important than both of them just as important because you gotta have a good regular season to get to the playoffs. But yeah, but if it wasn't, man, it was one of his best for sure. That guy took over the third quarter. He literally took it over defensively, offensively, and by the end of the game, I ain't never seen Jared Allen talk smack. Jared Allen was talking, man. And that was the toughness. That was the toughness to get that toughness from one of your players. Even though I respect Jared Allen because he gonna get you some points and rebounds every game as long as you got him in the game. And he been playing through injury. He looked kind of healthy last night, but that grit that came up out of him last night, that might have been what the team needed. Because it's a new series, so now you got to find your new matchups. Mobley was cool, but Mobley he only had one game in the series that was like game two, I think. But other than that, Mobley he all right, but that way, Jared, if Mobley could get some of that fire like Jared had in him last night, them two big men with Harden, I was about to say Garden. Shout out Garland. We miss you a little bit, bro. You still family. But yeah, Harden, man. And Mitchell, man. We gonna get to Mitchell though. I got something to say about that. Cause I said something about it last night. So if you follow Sports Corner somewhere, you probably seen what I had to say, but it's true, man. You get what I'm saying? So but yeah, man, they could be better, man. But they show some toughness that could get them to the championship, especially with Boston being put out. Philly is like the biggest threat. Detroit probably gonna give us a tassel, but they new to this. But they earned their stripes in their series because they was down 3-1. So the home court might play like we gonna have to take one in Detroit. Oh, if we could take two, that's even better. Cause then we could come on, play. If we sweep them, that's sweet. But if we have to go back to Detroit, that's cool. But if we could take the first two, all they got to do is shut Cunningham down. You shut Cunningham down, they have no offense. So who we gonna match up? I think from what I seen last night, I'm putting I'm putting I'm starting Struce just to put him on Cunningham for the defense because Struce was playing D2 last night. He got a little aggressive, like he lost his composure a few times, but Struce was doing his thing. He missed some shots, but he made shots that was needed. But his contribution was more defensively. Some of the plays he made changed the game. It got it gave us a bigger lead. Even though we had a lead, he was still doing. And while I'm watching the game, I say, "Come on, y'all! Just all we need now. We got a nice lead. We got a nice margin. We don't need no jacking up, no goofy shots. Always trying to get the three, which I'm gonna talk about a little later. But you only shoot that three. You let Merrill shoot that three when he open because he got a quick release. He not forcing it. Merrill ain't never gonna try to force a three unless they probably telling him to. But yeah, put Struce on Cunningham, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a big difference because even though Detroit is the number one seed, they not the number. They team is not overall. And then we done made moves since they was beating up on. And we was hurting the beginning of the season because if we probably wouldn't have had all them injuries, we probably would have been like at least a 2 seed. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough matchup with Detroit for sure. So but they could do better. I seen the championship toughness in them. But Detroit got the home court. That's why I said we got to at least take one game. If we got we can't come home 0-2. Not against Detroit, even though JB know the players because 75% of that team is the same players that JB was coaching. And for a minute it was looking like Allen was about to Atkins was on his way out the door. On everything. Hey, that boy what's his name? What's going on with that? Yeah, that boy y'all probably like this dude. That's because I'm a man of many hats right now. Even though I got one hat on my Guardians. Let's go Guardians, man. I wish they could have still been the Indians because I'm getting used to saying Guardians now. And they actually got like a different spirit to them as the Guardians for some reason. But that's another subject, man. But Donovan Mitchell, man. You the star player. You the face of the team. I don't know what everybody else thinking, but I need you to stop yanking up forced 3-pointers. Dude, I seen you shoot a 3-pointer. Yeah, you an NBA, and I know it is. You was a good, great. I ain't gonna call you great yet, but you was a good player, an all pro. You get what I'm saying? But if you got 3-on-1 and you jack up another 3-pointer like that, man, you can't force them threes, man. This ain't the regular season. If that 3-point don't work, you got to go take some hits. Your body gonna get beat up in the playoffs, and the refs letting y'all bang. So while you driving, you throw an elbow, lay it up. Make a basketball move. Quit pulling up them 3-pointers. You got the ability, Mitchell. You got a good floor general running with you now in Harden. It looked like one of your big men stepping up. The other one got finesse game regardless. We just need him to get a little tougher. And your role players, Tyson, Struz, Merle, Schroeder. Who else came up off the bench? That might have been it. Struz, Merle, Tyson. Oh, Dean Wade. Dean Wade was playing good defense, and he hit some big shots too. So Mitchell, if you want to shut the critics up, stop pulling up them threes, bro, and drive to the hole, man. I rather you shoot 26. If you shoot 26 times, 20 of them shots better be within the free throw line, in the paint type shots. You only need to shoot the three of it's wide open. Now I ain't even gonna say wide open, but it's just right. But if it's 3-on-1 and you stop and pull up to shoot a three, and then it was another shot, Mitchell, you shot, and it was like 6, 7 seconds left on the clock, and you yanked up a three, bruh. And the dude was in your face. You ain't make not one basketball move. I know you probably like, man, who is this guy? But I'm entitled to an opinion, bruh. I'm just stating the truth. You know what I'm saying? I, I, I'm down for you. You know what I'm saying? But listen to listen to the people that's watching. I'm pretty sure one of your coaches then told you stop doing that. Man, please stop doing that. They're shooting too many threes. Stop trying to like one of the old heads. I think it was Jeff Phelps and Andy Bass. One of them said, "Man, stop playing hero ball." That's on another topic. That's Shador weak link. He when he get to playing hero ball, he start messing up. Sometimes you gotta play fundamental. Like when y'all 10 or better in the third, fourth quarter, that's all lead, man. Play fundamental basketball. Defense, high percentage shots. Make a basketball move. 3-pointers are only if you wide open or you a pure shooter like a Merle or something. Other than that, man, we need high percentage shots and defense. That's how you play playoff basketball. I never been there, but I know if I played it and I was there, that's how I play it. All right, for real though. On some real, man. Stop shooting on them threes like that because that's not gonna give y'all that run you looking for. Maybe if you want, hey, we trying to make it to the finals because it's there. The door is open. The hardest matchup is gone. And they must wasn't the hardest matchup. So that means Philly is the hardest matchup. Who they play tonight, New York. Let's see how that series go. I ain't checked to see when we play Detroit, but man, we got to get one in Detroit. If we could get game one, oh, that'll change the status quick. But yeah, man, that third quarter, if we could get them to play 75% of the game, like how they played the third quarter, man. And Tyson balled out. Young boy Tyson, you put him, get him some more playing time, or you might have to start him. He was playing D2. So, hey, them Cavs, man, let's go. Let them know. Let them know. How you do that? Let me see something. Let them know. Yeah, but before I let y'all hear this clip, who y'all think was the series MVP, Mitchell or I don't own the rights to this music. Yeah, that's how we do it. Sure. You want to call in and chat with your brother? 21. Oh no, we got. You can try 216-716-3005, or you can try 440-370-2996. Make sure you text first. Let me know what it is you're calling about right now. We're currently just got off the call about the Cavaliers. We're about to move on, go on in from basketball to baseball. But before we go, yeah, what you gonna let them? What they got to do? Let them know. You gotta let them know. But yeah, man. Social media poll. Should I put this poll out there? Are the Cavs legitimate championship contenders? Yes or no? I say yes, especially with Boston out without, you know, especially with Boston gone. So you could go check. I'm gonna put it on my main page. Yeah, but we transitioning over basketball to the baseball. You know, the Guardians themselves had a nice little solid weekend. Yeah, them Guardians, they picked up an 8-5. They won 8-5 Friday, 14-6 on Saturday, but they lost Sunday. It's cool though. The offense finally showed some life. That's all that really matters. That offense showed some life. Bybee, I think they play tonight, but Bybee, Tanner Bybee starting, he 0-4. It's the offense, man, is the problem to me. You know, it's kind of inconsistent. They need a steady lineup. Like once they line up together, because they've been calling and put, you know, it's always because the season's so long. But I think we could trust this team because it's young. So that young talent, and you know how they do all arbitration and stuff like that. So most of the players that's on the Guardians team, they gonna be on the team for at least the next 5 years, unless they like a vet that signed a 1, 2 year little deal or something. Plus, we got a loyal superstar, Jose Ramirez, so that's gonna always give us attention because we got a loyalist. But the biggest player, is Ichiro. I don't know if I'm saying his name right because it began with an R, but he first in a lot of stats. So he balling out. They just called up the young kid they drafted first overall a few years ago, Travel Bazana. So they already had called up Brito. They sent him back. Hopefully, Bazana don't have to go down. He just get better. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that work out. And we tied for the lead, and it's still early. It ain't even 40. It's 36 games they played. It's 162 games. So that's a lot of games to go. But I could see them winning the division, though. Right now, we currently tied with Detroit. I don't know what Detroit, man. Shout out to my what up, though, homies. You already know. They straight up there in the D, the cousins. I always call the Detroit dudes cousins. I actually got family up there, too, though. But yeah, man. Other than that, man, they probably gonna stay still, um, unless something big come up to where it'll really make a difference on the team. But I really don't see the Guardians doing too much because it's still early in the season, so we got to wait that out. But if you had by based off if you're a 216er and you're a true Guardians fan. Like you dissect the Guardians. See, I dissect the Browns. I watch the Guardians. I kind of be thinking I'm coaching the Cavs. But yeah, man. What is the biggest issue with them right now? Like, is it the hitting or the pitching? Like, it's to me from when I would check up on it because I only watched a couple games. But when I check the scores and the stat sheets and stuff, it be it be it's inconsistent because one game they had good bats. It's like they gotta just find a rhythm, man. Once they find a rhythm, they'll be all right though. But looking at the season, I in the beginning it was all about Delatter, but Delatter kind of slowed down because they hold him back a little bit because he got like injury history, but he was like 8 for 11 over the weekend. Couple of I think he hit a home run, couple of RBIs. So if I had to say the most underrated Guardian right now, it'd be Delatter because he's not able to show his full potential based off of his injury history. So maybe once that get taken care of and they trust that, he could play every day, then his numbers probably will go up and then we'll have more faith in him. But the Guardians really got, if you know baseball and you watch it, they have a good lineup. It just got to stay consistent. And but baseball is a long season. Some of them ain't even caught their groove yet. But the biggest disappointment so far is really nothing. Jose breaking records. He always got breaking some type of monument. So it's not really a disappointment yet because they in first place. They ain't like blowing nobody away. But the whole American League is close. It's like bunched up. Like it's bunched up. It ain't really no far person far away or either way. They everybody close. It's like 5 games between each division and stuff. So, but if I before I go lead the Guardians, man, if it's one player that I feel that needs to step up, is the starting pitcher, the first, the Tanner Bybee. You are the one who sets the tone. You're 0-4. So them 0-4, them 4 victories that you could probably have, that'll make us 22-14. And then you get what I'm saying? Come on, we need that pitching. It's the pitching, man. It's the biggest issue is the pitching because bats they can get you some runs. They do what they show they can get runs. They have 14-6 run. They score 8, 14, and then the other just Sunday they only had one. But yeah, man, Sports Corner from the 216 is also sponsored by local businesses supporting independent media. If you want your business promoted live on this show to thousands of sports fans every week, message us directly today. Advertising packages are now available for restaurants, clothing brands, car dealerships, barber shops, like I just said, fitness brands. I was looking over some notes. Sports leagues, streaming businesses, support local, support independent creators, support the 216 because this sports corner from the 216 and we reaching out to everyone who likes sports, but particularly our 216 Cleveland sports fans. Of course, we're going to talk a little national news because this sports corner from the 216 with your boy Ricky D. But yeah, we getting into my favorite segment all the time right here. You know, the Browns continue preparing for this upcoming off-season program in Berea, which is to be, it's gonna be drama, man. It's gonna be, it's a storyline. It's like, can Watson get the starting job back? Will Shador become the franchise quarterback? The Browns just drafted this super athlete in the 6th round. That's a quarterback named Taylor Green, and we still got the little lefty, the boy Dylan Gabriel on the team, and he's even being talked about. But some of the major topics is always the quarterback situation. The roster is developing. So if this year's draft can show out like last year's draft, man, and the offense adapt, man, Ty Munkin, and speaking of the offense, Ty Munkin is a real coach. See, you gotta have a real coach, man. When I say real coach, they gotta be player coach. Like what? I don't really like to set expectations, but what I do want from the Browns is to get them points up. And the only way to do that is with steady quarterback play. You know, the biggest offseason move was the line. And of course the draft played a big part because them was offseason moves. So during the offseason, we got a new line, we got 2 young receivers, we got us a new lineman on the line. We got key pieces. Concepcion, Boston, who is my favorite. We picked up a top notch safety in the draft. So we added to the defense. Even the linebacker Jefferson from Alabama, I could tell you he's gonna be a contributor. Even though he was a 5th round pick, Jefferson is going to be somebody for the Cleveland Browns if it's just a great special teams player. But the person who got the most pressure on him, people would say is Watson. Watson got his money. It's Shador. Then speaking of Shador, like I was gonna say, Mary Kay, his brother made a comment about Mary Kay because Mary Kay came out talking about how they already saying who is the front runner for the quarterback position. But personally, I'm not a veteran like them. I don't know if she was trying to get some clicks, but I feel like it was too early to even make that decision when it's supposedly supposed to be a somewhat competition between him and Watson. So to say somebody a front runner after like a few days of um, dress down practice where everybody, I played quarterback, so yeah, I'm gonna look good throwing the ball in shorts for sure. But the average person that don't ain't never played quarterback and go out there and look good in shorts throwing the ball to a receiver, you know where he going without no blitz. So you can't decide off of that. That Mary Kay should have waited for that one, and whoever told her they set her up for failure. But she's a vet. I always appreciated and admired Mary Kay. I used to run to the plain dealer to read the sports, and Mary Kay always was the first person I read. So it's no hate, Mary Kay. We could go back and say that I'm entitled to an opinion. And I'm being honest, real talk, real sports from the 216. Sports Corner from the 216. What's your thoughts? SC216. Hashtag that so we can follow your thoughts. But yeah, man, Shador under the most pressure. But watching him and knowing how Watson play with the receivers that they just picked up and the receivers that they have, if you watch film on Shador, when he not trying to be the hero ball and he running the play, uh, ain't nothing wrong with extending the play, but don't hero ball. That's for anybody. But the way his accuracy is, the way Shador can put that ball in places that only the receiver can catch it, and he has like a touch. So a person like Concepcion, who they say drops the ball, Shador got a touch. So he might have he might throw the ball to where it's soft, not too soft or not too hard for a player like Concepcion to just grab it. Then a person like Denzel Boston, who goes up and grabs the ball with he's a hand catcher. He gonna really excel with a receiver like that. I gotta see some more Watson because Watson, man, he been injured, man, and one of his injuries was the shoulder. That was, and after he came back from the shoulder, he was looking terrible. He was throwing the ball in the ground. He was missing receivers. It was wild, man. But yeah, and Shador been in the league, but that's who I think out of all the players on the team is Shador. Shador got the biggest pressure. He has the most pressure on him. And then, like I was talking, the draft class, solid. We really can't tell, like, grade them or say what they are yet. We only can say what they were because they haven't played in the NFL yet. It's a whole nother league. It's a lot of great college players that don't transition to the NFL. At the NFL, you might have to reinvent yourself. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say Boston is the best pick because with his size and his position, all he got to learn is the tricks. And with a DB like, excuse me, with a DB like Denzel Ward, a great, you know what I'm saying? That's like Fano. He got to go up against Miles in practice. So our receivers gonna always get better. That's why I don't get it. Damn, excuse me, y'all. But we gotta wait for them rookies to get on the field, man. I love because football is. I would say it's like chess because, but it's not really because it's like moving parts. Like if everybody not doing the right, if they not moving how they was taught to, then the play don't work unless you have a super athlete. You know what I'm saying? But if everybody execute what and move how the play is supposed to be, it'd be some great things coming out of that. And Monkey seems like the person that can get it out of people. Because Shador even said, like, hey, man, the guy gave me life. Yeah, but, at the same time, some people think it's a rebuild. I think they just really reloading because they didn't just clean house. You know what I'm saying? They might not re-sign the player. I just feel like they just reloading. They let go of Emerson. I was kind of upset about that, but they must know something we don't know. Just like how they traded Omari, they bust a move though with Omari Cooper because they got a third round for Omari when they only gave up a fifth for him, and then they got the third when he was on a heavy decline. And as always, going into camp, the biggest question is hopefully Jenkins is healthier than we think, but they picked up a couple of other running backs. But I think they should go out there and get another veteran running back. But I like the other Sanders, Raheem Rocket Sanders. But the biggest question, of course, is quarterback. Until we get our quarterback and know he the quarterback to where we're not talking about drafting a quarterback who can take the quarterback position by the helm. Until then, we our biggest concern is quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And with that, will the Browns make the playoff this season? Some people say they can't even get 6 games. Some people say 8. Some people say 9. I said it could be a 180. It could be from 5-12 to 12-5. All we got to do is get us some good, solid quarterback play. We get that, man. We get that quarterback play. Then what? And I think we got it. We did Shador. Then you got Watson, a solid backup. You got a development project. If Shador sizzle out, you could try to see what you got out of Taylor Green because you could use them draft picks and fill in other spots over the years. Like Watson be gone. Hopefully Shador take flight. That way you could just go pick up a veteran to keep in the locker room, and then you work on Taylor Green, see if he could get somewhere, just so you got a solid backup for Shador, or even another potential starter. You know, but based off of the offseason moves, like I say, will the Browns make the playoffs? But what do you realistically expect from the Browns this year? Like, what do you expect? Do you expect for them to falter? Do you think they're gonna upgrade and have a better season? How do you feel? Leave your comments, Facebook, on YouTube. Yeah, we only on Facebook and YouTube, but we Facebook Ricky Calhoun, and we Facebook Sports Corner from the 216. But yeah, man, we gonna slide on over. Talk about the rest of the NBA playoffs because it was a dramatic weekend. It was a couple game sevens. Boston got took out. Brian going on to the next round against OKC. Then OKC probably think this gonna be easy, but Brian ain't never going out like that. But Detroit beat on Orlando. Orlando always, that's why they fired their coach. Orlando fired their coach. Somebody else fired their coach that lost. But yeah, by the Pistons winning that's the Central Division matchup to get to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. But the best remaining team to me is the Thunder. But they, like I said, they playing Brian and them Lakers, and Brian know how to get the most out of the players. So you gotta respect that. The biggest upset that I could see happening is Minnesota over the Spurs, because the Spurs, they might be talented, but they still young. Like the playoffs is new to them. The Timberwolves been in the playoffs for like the last 3-4 years, and of course, the the most pressure, the team with the most pressure. Who you think? Who you think? Yeah, the Cavaliers. And Cleveland got the most pressure on them because they almost got took out in the first round, and they ain't been out the second round in like 3-4 years. So something got to shake. And of course, like I was saying, Brian carrying the Lakers. Hopefully, Luca come back because he probably need him another solid scorer. But at the same time, Luca coming back, that could probably mess up that chemistry they done created. So maybe Luca being staying hurt might be a good thing though. But moving on to the MLB, it ain't really no, like I was saying earlier with the Indians. The American League is about everybody bunched up. Atlanta, I think, got the best record over in the National League, so it's really balanced at the moment. And a lot of teams are like, especially like I was saying, the American League. This gonna be a good baseball season too, just like how the NBA playoffs is. It's gonna be a good baseball season too. And it's too early to be talking about who disappointing, but if you had to say who disappointing in baseball right now, it got to be the Red Sox. I ain't know the Red Sox fell off like that. I think they got like the worst record in baseball. I ain't I can't remember the Boston Red Sox being like the worst team in baseball. I don't think I ever experienced that. If so, I wasn't paying attention that year. And like MVP and the Cy Young races, a lot of people they'll start talking about it, but it's too early for that. So later in the season, we gonna come back and we gonna give our MVP and Cy Young recommendations, like early predictions. See what's going on. I'm gonna have to lock in on the Major League Baseball a little bit more, so I could be a little bit more accurate with y'all. But in other NFL headlines, Ricky Minicamp. I don't know which all team started, but I know Carnell Tate, who I wanted the Browns to pick. I feel like they would have picked Tate because it was a video that came out. I should have showed y'all or at least played it for y'all. But it was a video of Andrew Berry in the War Room. So Tate got picked. I think Dallas called us and tried to give up the 12 and the 20 for our 6 and our 24, and all they was willing to add with it was a 5th round pick. Barry was like, "Oh, no, that ain't enough." So then I guess they was, because they wanted to take, man. They wanted to take with that 6th pick. Fanu was probably just their first rated tackle. Tate probably was their first rated receiver. but he probably was also their first rated player. And I knew it when I was watching draft. I say, man, when if if Tate get drafted, because I kept doing it in my mock, if he got drafted, I just traded. So they get a call from Kansas City. Kansas City, they moved down 3 spots. They board is still Fanu, Tyson, and the guy from Miami. I'm glad they got Fanu. I Tyson would have been fun, maybe because his brother here, so it would have been like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, we still came up on top to me because I wasn't really high on Concepcion, but the more I watch his film and the more I learn about, because he punt return, he good after the catch, so he can make things happen. So I'm kind of excited about him too. I wanted Boston from the beginning. As soon as I started researching receivers coming out in the draft, I had Boston ahead of Tate for real because Tate play alongside Jeremiah Smith, so Jeremiah Smith could have been taking a lot of that load off of Tate, which made Tate look better. So we gonna see though. Tate number 14 now for the Titans. But the biggest off-season winner to me is Denver. Even though I can't stand Denver, man, because I was a kid watching. I watched, man. It was plenty. I know I watched the fumble. I watched the drive. And the one year they just whooped on us because Denver stopped us from going to the Super Bowl 3 different times, 2 years in a row, and then they came back like a year or two later. We had to play them again. But yeah, Bo Nix got Jalen Waddle, so he got him a true receiver. He got him like a real make a play receiver. That Waddle could be Concepcion could be similar to a Waddle. All he gotta do is hold on to the ball. I like the Mike Evans to San Fran pick up too. He got paid a little bit too, like 40 something million for like 2, 3 years. That's who I kind of compare Boston to. Boston remind me of a Mike Evans, tall, catch with his hands, not not burner speed, but long enough to run away from you. But yeah, that Bo Nix is Denver got the best to me because now you got Bo Nix and Denver was what 14-3 last year. San Fran making moves too, so hopefully our team step it up, the Browns, and we be in the playoff picture talking about how we made a big difference. But if the teams that's under pressure, there's really only one team that I could acknowledge that's really under pressure because the Jets they constantly talking about Aaron Glenn gonna get fired, but the Bengals, man, they the only team in the division that still got their same coach. And the AFC North is different. I forgot who Baltimore picked up. I'm gonna have to check that out. But Pittsburgh got Mike McCarthy. We got Todd Monken. So Zach Thomas don't even know the coaches schemes. He didn't play Mike Martz before. I mean McCarthy. Let me see who Baltimore coach is. Oh, they got the Jesse Minter dude because he was supposed to came and interview for us, but he never did. But that's and looking and speaking of Concepcion, they keep comparing him to Zay Flowers. Let's see what this video look like. Okay. I ain't talking about that. Excuse me. Yeah, Zach Thomas, he under the most pressure. But yeah, this segment is brought to you by official supporters of Sports Corner from the 216. Want exclusive content, behind the scene clips, and members only sports discussions? Follow Sports Corner from the 216 on all platforms and join the movement, because this isn't corporate sports talk. This is real fan conversation from the city that loves and lives sports every single day, because we got a sport going on every time all year long. It's something happening. It's no dry spots, because we about to get the women's basketball. We about to get another soccer team. We got a couple minor league soccer teams. We got the minor league hockey. We got major league baseball, major national basketball league. We got the national football league. We got the Aviators down the street. We got Ohio State. We got the Columbus Crew. You know what I'm saying? You can't, if you love sports, man, you need to move to the 216 so you can be a fan. And we about to get the new stadium, because they just broke ground the other day. Had Roger Goodell up here. Man, the new stadium, the new stadium, the new stadium, like that, like the guy said, if that stadium looks anything like that render, oh my God. Before I get ready to get up out of here, I got a few little questions for y'all to think about, and comment, on social media or whatever. Are the Cavs tougher mentally this season? To me, it's questionable, because they had a lot of things going on, injuries. Then they made a trade, so that's questionable. Which Cleveland team has the brightest future? The Browns. That's my opinion. I think the Browns, because they young, they superstar players are vets, but they got up and coming good players, like offensively and defensively, and they added more to that this year. Oh, I made a mistake and hit the echo. Hey. But yeah, is baseball still underrated? I never thought baseball was underrated. This is a question that I had my sister do for me. Which athlete owns Cleveland right now? Me personally, I can't think of nobody that owns, not no one athlete that owns right now. Because currently every team beats theyself. But in history, it was Mike. Because Mike beat up on the early Cavs with Mark Price and Brad Doherty and them. Because them Cavs was good too. They stayed making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and stuff like that too. So if you're a real Cleveland fan, you know that. Biggest fraud team in sports today. Who the biggest fraud out of all the teams? You can't say OKC, because they actually won. I'd say, I would say, um, San Antonio. I ain't got nothing against them, but this ain't the Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manny Ginobili, Tony Parker. These not them Spurs. They got a good squad, but this matchup against the Timberwolves about to let it be known. I think Anthony Edwards got a little injury though too. But the most dangerous playoff team remaining is OKC, especially if old boy come back healthy. But I think he out a couple weeks. But he had time to rest, because OKC, I think they swept. But before I really get up out of here, if you tuned in or you catch this later, this clip on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, yada yada. One word to describe the Cavs right now. Hopefully prepared. That's what I say. Best Cleveland sports moment this weekend is, of course, Jared Allen's third quarter. Biggest sports disappointment this weekend, the Boston Celtics losing. I gotta go get my. But I'm gonna put this poll over on X, and I want y'all to get y'all a vote. But it's gonna be a poll. Who currently runs Cleveland sports? Make sure you go over on X Sports Corner from the 216 on X and look for that poll to make your vote. This gonna be the moment I start shouting everybody out, but I wanna shout out everybody supporting the movement. If you like, listen, you ain't even gotta tune in live, but if you do, I truly appreciate that. And if you like, you know, follow, subscribe, share, I support that. All my Facebook Live, YouTube subscribers. We gonna start being over on Twitch. Like I said, we about to start putting the audio over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, and my favorite place to be, TikTok supporters. I love y'all. Instagram, what's going on? And we about to start having them polls. Like I say, go over on X. I'm gonna put this poll up. Tag us during the show. And when you tune in with hashtag Sports Corner 216, hashtag SC216, or what's your thoughts, SC216, during or after the show, if you want to comment, you want me to see your comment or caption, use one of them hashtags, Sports Corner 216, SC216, or what's your thoughts, SC216. I would do a call-in session, but my numbers ain't really up. Let me see. Yeah, my numbers ain't up, and so maybe next time we do a final call-in segment. I got a few suggested questions. What was the biggest sports story of the weekend? Are Cleveland fans finally believing in the Cavs? I'm gonna go with what concerns you most about the Browns. That's gonna be the call-in question of the week. Keep it respectful, keep it passionate, and let's talk sports. Thank y'all. Another huge episode. Sports Corner from the 216 is officially in the books. Shout out to everybody who tuned in live tonight across every platform. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and share the show with another sports fan. We'll be back next Monday live, 8 p.m. Eastern, with more Cleveland sports, more national headlines, more debates, and more real fan reactions. Until next time, this has been Sports Corner from the 216 with your boy Ricky D. Good night, everybody.